Hi, this is Midnight Mayhem, and before the video starts, we just want to let you guys know that the next couple of videos we are doing are creature features. So if you clicked on this video, thank you so much for watching, but we still need your help. We are going to be doing some viewer suggestion videos, so if you guys want to go ahead and leave something down in the comments, let us know which creature features you'd like us to cover. That's it. Enjoy the video.
Enjoy. Thank you for watching.
Hi, welcome back to Midnight Mayhem. Before we get started on today's movie, we're going to go ahead and get started with our introductions.
I'm Bobby and I love horror.
I'm Leo. I'm the other guy. I'm Leo and I love movies.
He loves movies, and I'm Raymond, the other guy. And today we're going to be talking about Infested, which I believe is a 2023 film, which was released earlier this year, 2024.
Really?
I didn't watch anything about this movie. I heard about it, and it seemed interesting, so I recommended it for this channel.
Same here. I didn't watch any trailers for it. I just heard the premise, and I was like, oh, and I think the director, he did a couple other good horror films. What else did he do, the director?
I will look into it.
Because I remember...
My default is, well, if you're a first-time viewer here, I just mainly go into everything blind, so yeah, I knew nothing about it outside of the minor presentation
I go
we
into
had.
everything blind. I love Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other notable movies,
Kind of ruthless.
something called Crocs. The only other one I've heard of was Mayday.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other one's is Passburgers.
Okay.
And Holo.
Got it. Okay.
Or Hollow.
Got it.
I think I've seen Hollow.
I see.
But yeah, so before we get into the story, did you guys want to start off with ratings?
No, I want to kind of give them a synopsis real quick before we jump into that. It's a French film, so if you don't like reading...
Yeah, another movie where we had to read. Get your reading glasses ready, guys.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I fell asleep in the first, 5 minutes because I was like, I got to read.
Have we
tired.
had a
foreign film, yes.
No, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You sometimes ask
we
some
had
questionable
anything?
things.
I know, but when was the last non-foreign film that we had?
The last movie.
Bay.
Was it The Bay?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, it was Wreck. It was before this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I missed.
Exactly.
So it's a French film, so you got to read. It's pretty awesome. It's a Shudder original, so most likely you're probably only going to find it on Shudder. Was it on any other streaming services?
It's on a few. I'm going to list them off right now if you guys have the money. AMC Plus subscription,
Ooh.
Philo, YouTube with the Primetime subscription, Sling TV with the premium subscription, Amazon Prime premium subscription, YouTube TV premium subscription, Google Play movies and TV for $3.99, Fandango at Home for $3.99, and Apple TV for $5.99.
And we always recommend you guys check out the movies before watching our reviews because we'll give away pretty much everything at a certain point. We'll give you a warning, but just as your heads up to, hey, maybe you want to check it out. If it sounds interesting, go for it. If not, you can watch this video. But this is where our watch time usually drops off.
Shudder,
go
please
watch the
sponsor
movie.
us.
Sponsor Shudder. We can't afford to feed our children and watch you at the same time.
At least give us a 3 month subscription.
One free month.
All right,
That's all
so
we ask for.
you want to explain the premise of it?
So just a real quick synopsis, and then I'll go into a little bit more in depth for that synopsis. But passionate about exotic animals, Caleb, which is going to be our main character for the film, brings a venomous spider home, but it accidentally slips away. Soon, residents of the apartment building are battling an army of deadly, rapidly reproducing spiders.
All right, now let's go into ratings. If that sounds cool, check it out.
Cool.
If you agree with our ratings, then maybe you'll still check it out. You want me to go first? Who wants to go first? You tell me.
I'll go first. I give it a solid 7, maybe because.
I thought you were gonna say 6. I was about to say
No. It was a solid 7. It could have been a little bit higher, but it kind of lost me towards the end.
It lost me towards the end as well, but I still give it an 8
Mm-hmm.
because the parts that once the horror kicked off, once the suspense kicks off, it kicks off nicely.
Yeah.
It like I said, it kind of drops off in the final act a little bit, but it's also I think it's because you're thinking of it too logically at that. I was thinking about it too logically at that point.
I'm going to give it a 7 as well.
Right.
Let's say it started off really strong and it had a lot of promise, and then it kind of devolved into something a little too weird, and then the story just dropped off toward the end.
The way I describe it would be like a serious version of Eight-Legged Freaks, except not that ridiculous, comical.
Like when they scream.
Because in Eight-Legged Freaks they have gremlin noises.
Noises. Punches the cop.
Yeah.
Part.
So if that sounds interesting, check it out. If not, we're going to be going on to spoilers going forward. So final chance. It's all you, cuz.
All right. So basically, the story revolves around the main character, Caleb. He's trying to set his life straight after his mom passes. And he also has a real strong love for animals, which they don't really go into too much detail.
Reptiles, arachnids.
Yeah, you kind of get a little bit more information about that toward the end. He has this weird thing about like not swearing, like promising they're okay, but you can't say, "Oh, I swear,"
Oh yeah.
which you don't understand until the very end of the movie.
It's not much of a payoff. I mean,
It's
at this
not.
at this
I was
point,
expecting it to do more with his mom, but his mom dying was like didn't have a catalyst for anything except for
Outside
his
of-
strained relationship with his sister.
yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah.
main thing was his relationship with his sister, who was pretty as reasonable as she could be in that situation.
She was kind of annoying though at some parts.
They were all kind of annoying.
Like when they were all in his room, she was like, "Yeah, it stinks in here, huh? Doesn't it stink,
It-
guys?
it
Yeah,
stinks
yeah,
in here, and it's not the animals,
yeah.
idiot. And like,
Clean your room, filthy trash
Filthy
bag.
animal.
Yeah, come on, man.
that's just how siblings are.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But yeah, so he is looking for a present for a family friend. She's moving away, and he comes across. He's talking to the guy he works with. His name is Ali, and there's a pretty funny line where he goes like, "Oh, I sell everything." He's like, "Is it AliExpress? You know, they stole that from
Stole
me.
mine
Like
from
I was
me."
around first." So he's like, "Look, man, like all the stuff you have is garbage. Like, do you have anything real?" And he's like, "All right, like follow me." Takes
Take
to
his-
like the back room, and he sells him some earrings, and he sees some spiders that he got.
Yeah.
Well, spiders, as you see at the beginning of the film, are very
Dangerous.
aggressive, very
Aggressive, yep.
dangerous. Basically, they were kidnapped from somewhere in the desert, and they were sold at auction. And he sees, he's like, "What a beautiful creature!" You know, he loves animals. It's like a Steve Irwin thing,
Mm-hmm.
if he was French. And he buys a spider, doesn't have anywhere to put it, puts it in a shoebox in the meantime, and it escapes because, of course, it does.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have a movie if it didn't escape.
Exactly.
It managed to like chew or claw its way out of a shoebox.
Yeah, it
I would
dug
say
its
like
way out.
two, yeah. And then, I mean, everything from there kind of like drives the movie forward. You know, it lays eggs and it kind of just spreads throughout.
The apartment,
The
gets into
apartment
the
complex,
caravans,
yeah.
everything.
Do you want to break down characters? Or you want to keep explaining the story?
No, I mean, that's pretty
Well,
much
should we go
straightforward
into,
from
like,
there.
the
The only
Yeah.
thing-
So if you
the only
watch the
thing is
movie,
one
you know
character
everything.
dies. His dog's barking like crazy. He's like stuck inside with the dead body and the spiders.
Doesn't the dog eat the spider too?
The dog eats one of the dead spiders.
Yeah.
The guy gets attacked by a bunch of babies. The dog just keeps barking and barking. So they're like, "Hey, what the hell? Like, I haven't heard from this guy. Like, his dog has been barking for hours." They go and they find out he died from his bites.
Right.
And from there, just to get into the last episode, they shut down the apartment and they quarantine him.
And I was like,
So
hey, this
nobody's
looks
allowed to
familiar.
Yeah, the quarantine portion was kind of like, oh, that's kind of unnecessary. It seems a little unnecessary, but then when we talked about it while we were watching it, it was like, yeah, well, they have no idea how this guy died.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And then, well, like, what is it? When you bring like foreign or what is it called, predatory animals into an environment they're not supposed to be in, there's plenty of examples of it devastating an ecosystem.
Yeah.
I was wondering if the building had any kind of significance because it was like a pretty crazy architectural structure. I mean, again, if you saw there should be a screenshot or something right here, but it
Should
looked
be.
nuts. Yeah, no, it looked crazy.
It looked like one of the apartment from like the projects or something.
Exactly.
Like
That's
that.
what I mean.
Yeah.
And remember how like the projects where they kind of just stacked everyone on top of each other,
Yeah,
try to
pretty much,
keep them contained to an area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, and everyone in their neighborhood seemed very close. So it's like
Yeah. Plus, everything in that building was awful. Like, the lights wouldn't work.
they were on
Or they would
timers.
turn on. Yeah, they would turn on and they would just shut off. And then they had motion lights that like didn't work, which led to probably one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
There were two funny scenes that I liked about the movie.
Yeah. So
Well, yeah, whenever
let's
you
go
get
ahead
to
real
it.
quick. Get into what you guys enjoy about the film.
Every scare was fun. Like
Yeah.
the creep factor is just there. I like that it was kind of played up for seriousness. Because I was watching, I was like, it's going to be about spiders, like whatever. And every time they ran across the damn bathroom or something, I was like, that, like,
You start
that,
slapping your
that
legs.
instinctive
Yeah.
jump. I was like, oh, man.
It's
And I
kind
mean,
of
they used it a lot. The little like scare cue, like the little violin or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was super effective in this movie because it wasn't like just for shock value. It's like you knew something was coming.
And I
Yeah.
love how they use like they obviously use CGI spiders, you know, for
What?
when
They were real,
CGI spiders.
just the big ones.
No, those CGI spiders.
They're
okay?
out there, Leo.
I,
They're gonna find you.
Yeah, this guy was, the people were watching with were just like screaming.
I know, man. But they use they use actual spiders too.
Some of them
were real, some of them were practical.
A lot of them toward the end, if not, I believe all of them toward the end were all CGI.
Yeah, and
the most notable one is the last spider you see in the film, and it looked really bad.
It didn't look that bad because for the most part, like. Well, I guess
not
that
PS2,
one,
but like PS3.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Like that one looked kind of off because that one's like the big one, so you see all the details on it. But for the little ones that were CGI, they played it kind of smart because like they're
super quick.
Yeah, they're super quick, and they shut them in the dark and in certain shadows, and it's like so you can't really like you just see them move around. It's like it's like a fast moving spider.
So if you did check out the movie, I hope you enjoyed those portions because those were the big parts that got me. I was like, oh, this is fun. Like you said, the least favorite portion was that drop off, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So, who else? What about you guys?
That scene that made me laugh was when the landlord was when they discover the body, and they're like, why did he die? Was he sick? Was this like no? He sold more heroin. And, no, I didn't. He just bonks him on the head. Like
my favorite scene would have been what was her last name? The Miss Chang.
Miss Chang.
Yeah.
Miss Zhao. Yeah, she was like a badass.
She comes in, sees all spiders, picks up her bandana, just two cans.
And
she's
wearing her Crocs. Like
yeah,
I was like
man.
that. Every scene with her was just so.
Puts her Croc in like running mode, like
sports mode. He's like,
sports
I'm
mode.
gonna spray him when I'm out of here.
I know, like dual magging them and stuff.
And then
they just stab the bottom of the raid bottle and throw it in.
Yeah,
I would also say my favorite scare was her getting caught. Because you see it, if you're paying attention, you see it behind her, and it just sprints just as quickly as it would for a normal strike. It's like it's good stuff.
One funny, creepy moment, but it's also like so funny is when they were running from the spiders in the hallway, but it's that hallway with the motion lights. So they're just like they're trying not to move because the spiders are everywhere. The lights just turn up. They're like,
they all start freaking out. They all start waving their arms to try and get the lights back on. I really enjoyed that part. And the thing is, it's just unintentionally funny. It's not like
it's not played.
We're gonna put this in because
no,
it's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. Like it's unintentionally funny because it's like you would freak out too. You're like
Yeah. I think probably my favorite scene.
Waving your arms in the air and stuff.
My favorite scene was the bathroom scene.
When they went like
good.
Okay, yeah.
So his sister's friend is in the bathroom. She's just washing her hands or whatever. And from the mirror, you can see all the spiders coming out of the air vent. And you see like 15 of them crawl inside.
Yeah.
It's like as she's looking down, so she doesn't
she's
see
washing
it.
her hands. She doesn't see them.
They even drop the air vent down. And
and then so she sees the air vent fall. It's like, whatever, it's house falling apart. Like everyone's renovating. So she's like, I'm going to put it back. So she started trying to put it back, and you see the inside of the...
I think that's
the air vent. See how many more spiders are inside there.
That's what was satisfying about the movie was that a lot of the scares came from what they didn't even know was there.
I know,
we know they're there, but they don't know. And that anticipation, that build up, that's what made it so much fun.
The suspense.
That when she puts the vent back on,
and
then
her fingers were through the vent,
and you see the tunnel, like just like that vent view,
spiders,
and you're like
full like silhouette of spiders, dude. Like
it's the scene that makes your balls shrivel. Like, those are the ones that get you, and then the payoffs are usually, I mean, they're mostly jump scares, but it's that anticipation, that build up.
Yeah,
it's like that's what got me.
And the thing is, like, when I was younger, I was terrified of spiders. But as an adult, I'm just like, all right, they are what they are.
What do you mean when I was younger?
No, and I was like, no, I used to act like freaking Scooby Doo. I used to jump on my older brother.
Zoinks, like...
No, I would like, you know, until Scoob jumps into Shaggy's arms, I would just do that to my big brother. I was like, spider!
He would run in place, and then he would just eat it because he was wearing socks on a...
And
then the way I got over my fear was I educated myself on, like, spiders and in general.
Like their importance of the ecosystem.
That and, like, how they're, like, they generate webbing and, like, that's just everything about them.
Nope, still have a phobia.
That's why I'm just like, that's why it's instinctive to be scared of them. It's how it's
not even scared. It's just I just don't like them. It makes me feel itchy.
Have you ever handled a spider?
Fuck no.
No.
I'm not planning to either.
No. Like straight up handled it? No. Like
I mean I've done it a couple times, but like obviously with like.
What do you mean?
With your bare hands? Is that what you're talking about?
Like daddy long legs.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, just,
fuck that.
Just get them on my hand, and I just move them outside, which I found out like, hey, like I'm just killing them.
Yeah.
So fun fact, most spiders, they are born indoors and they can't survive outside, which is why if you are like, I'm going to be nice to them and I'm going to capture them and I'm going to release them outside, that's just a death sentence for them because they can't handle the climate change.
Doesn't help that
I'm
our
feeding the environment.
Very,
that's all I take
very
it.
humid.
Yeah. Not on your shoulder.
And when I was watching the movie, I couldn't help but compare this movie to Arachnophobia. Like, have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, with John Goodman.
I haven't seen it in
exactly.
years, but I know the movie.
I've seen it like probably 3 times since I've seen it for the first time, but that one's really good, and it's like it's good throughout. Like throughout the the first quarter of the movie, it's like it's starting building up, but it doesn't lose that realism. Obviously, until towards the very end, but. Throughout the movie, they use actual spiders, because the movie came out in 1990. They weren't going to use CGI for that. So they use actual...
PlayStation 1 spiders.
Yeah, I know. They use actual spiders. And for some spiders, like the big one, because there was one like maybe like this big towards the end. That one was practical, obviously, you know? But I always remember the ending of Arachnophobia where they're in the house and the spiders are coming out of the walls, the drains, the vents, and they're actual spiders. And they're falling on their faces, like, and they're just going like this, and they're crawling on their arms, and like they're actual spiders doing that, So that I think that's what it gives it the authenticity to that movie, and it's like it gives it extra
Yeah.
So then
how'd you
feel about this movie then?
So this one, it has those moments, but at the same time, like I feel like a close moment like that was when they were running up the stairs and the spiders were chasing them.
Oh, and they're trying to like stop them with the lights.
With the lights. And even the hallway scene, that one. But it's like they're CGI, so it's like it's creepy, but it's
creepy. You can kind of picture yourself in that situation. Like I'm
and it's like the bigger they get, the more realism you lose. You know what I mean? Because even in Arachnophobia, like the biggest spider was like the size of this thing, But even that had some like realism to it, because it's like they do zoom ins, and like when they zoom in, they just zoom into his eyes and like its fur and his face. So it's like they don't zoom into like imperfections. They just kind of zoom into it, like
that whole portion played off like.
We'll still talk about like the faults of the movie, like how the just downhill it went from toward the end to the last.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
But other than that last act, what part of the film did you guys not enjoy? Because for me, it was the almost cartoonish nature of like like every time the spiders reproduce, they grow like 10 times their size. And each time they got bigger, I was like, okay, like it's scary because it's a big spider, but also I was like,
you were
at a certain point, when did this movie go from like an infestation spider story about like these spiders who can kill you in one bite to 8-legged freaks?
To like, exactly.
Yeah, because the movie starts off with that opening kill of when they're trying to capture the spiders in the desert. And that dude gets bit once, and he's in agonizing pain. And so I'm like, oh, dang, these things bite you once, you're done.
It's not like let's get him to a hospital.
No, it's like execute him.
Yeah,
like,
he literally kills him with a machete.
And on top of that, like these people got these things from the desert. They know what they were getting. They knew what they were looking for. So it's like
I thought they were gonna weaponize it, not just sell them.
That's fine, but it's like so
hey,
why couldn't they grow like that in the desert if because
what Bobby was saying, like, because basically they gas out the little cave or whatever, and the spiders come out and they start grabbing them. He was like, what if those are just the babies?
Or like the smallest ones that fit out the burrow.
Sure, then it's just, I don't know. Because I remember towards the end of the movie, we were just like, we were expecting like, oh, that big one's going to come out of the hallway. Like, it's like, and that just kind of like breaks the realism too,
But no, because I was like, oh, what if like he opens the door and like, oh, what if a giant spider crawls out of it? And Bobby was like, oh, I think it'd be better if it was a bunch of little spiders. Mm-hmm. And it was.
Yeah.
And it was perfect.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And I was like, I would say that's probably my biggest like point against the movie. Is as they could get progressively bigger, it's just like, okay, like it seems kind of whimsical.
Yeah,
like
that's the part I didn't like. Where it was like, okay, like why are you like?
Because you already have a terrifying concept.
Yeah,
you already have me jumping and reacting.
Like if they're the size of my hand, that's terrifying. I don't think they need to be any bigger than the size of my hand.
Like because the size of a golf cart.
If you didn't watch the movie, by the end of the movie, the thing is the size of a dog.
Yeah, no word, like the size of a table. Actually,
it was like half the size of their car.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So like kind of.
So it's like you look at it and you're like, oh shit, but
it's 8-legged freaks, literally.
Yeah. Then that just turns into like you're like, oh, okay, so now there's this thing, it kind of loses realism.
I think the capping point was when they're in the hallway and you see them.
They're real.
And they're like,
surprise for you, Leo.
They're like about the size of that.
Spiders under everyone's chairs.
Like I think the max size should have been like right there, like the size of the face hugger.
Yeah.
Which it got to that point.
I mean, tilt it upwards, like so they can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like that. Not
like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's too realistic. No. So I'm like, you already have a pretty terrifying concept with that. You don't really need to go more, but
Leo, hold his hand. He's not.
Hey,
That's fine. Just leave him like that.
Sometimes it's fun to go all out too. So I'm like, I can see where the director was just like, let's just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
screw
fine.
it.
Let's just let's just have fun with it.
But I almost feel like the size of the spiders didn't matter
At a certain point,
outside of like the audience expectation, where it's like, oh my god, they're so big. Like it didn't add to the story that they were bigger, and they literally just throw in like a whatever explanation. He's like googling it. He's like, oh, I think I found something. He's like, these spiders, they grow 10 times when they reproduce or whatever.
One
It
scene
didn't add anything to the story.
One scene I'm surprised you guys didn't mention through your favorites was the scene with the tunnel and all the spiders in there.
See, that one's cool.
It's sick until you get to the end of that part.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm surprised nobody like mentioned it as their favorite portion.
That's a really cool portion. I don't know if it was my favorite.
What do you mean? The tunnel?
The one right.
Tunnel.
Oh, I was like, really?
Say.
I was like, you're
And also, it was kind of dumb how it's like the spiders had this weakness to light. You know, if you shine light
it
on them.
makes sense because of they were
rain-
burrowing spiders. So
yeah, in case you didn't catch that, that's why the light
Okay,
blinded
makes
them.
sense.
So they stopped moving because of like
Now-
as an instinctual thing for a spider.
Okay.
Is it stops moving so it doesn't look like food.
But
for prey.
so for the last spider that they encountered at the end, you know, the one that was the size of a golf cart, they had the light on it, so it was still. But when they turn on the lights off, it's like, nah, I gotta scurry away to the right. It's like I thought he was gonna jump on him or something. You know what I mean?
But it was kind of no reason for him to like attack him. You know what I mean? Because they're just spiders at the end of the day. Like,
I guess. But like, it seems like every one of those spiders wanted to attack them, no matter what they were doing.
They were getting shot at.
I know, but what about the hallway scene? They weren't. They were just running away from him the whole time.
Yeah, but you know how spider webs work, right?
was there any point where someone didn't aggravate the spider? I'm actually thinking on the movie.
I mean, I'm sure that old guy didn't.
Oh
But
yeah,
he got
that's
bit, but
that's
he
another
was-
thing too. Like when the old guy comes out of the apartment, he's like, no, get back in your apartment, old man. He's like, okay, all right.
No, but I'm like, because in the beginning, opening scene was the smoke out. They smoke him out.
Right.
So they're aggressive. The second one is the dude stucks his foot and smashes it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then what was it?
Well, Miss Chow
Was spraying them.
was spraying them, so they got into the vents and got out of the bathroom.
And
so
then
that makes sense.
the ones inside the bathroom were the ones that he tried to smash.
Yeah.
And then yeah. So it's like,
I
where
don't
they?
know, man, like.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like that's
Yeah,
a
I
fun little
mean-
thing. Was there any portion where they just outright attacked somebody? Because they were aggressive, but after they were already aggravated.
Yeah.
So
What makes spiders angry?
You know what I like about the movie too? It has a nice message. Like because I mean spiders are still like
It has a really positive message. Don't buy spiders.
no because I mean this guy he loves animals and
Yeah.
even after he went through all that, you know, at the end of the movie you see a spider crawling on his shoulder. I would have been like, burn that shit, you know, but he grabs it.
You would have said that at the beginning of the movie, though.
It's fine with any spiders, but he grabs it after he went through all of that. He grabs it, just throws it in the wild, you know. Because if you think of the movie like Jaws, right? The movie Jaws came out, and you know it's about a killer shark and all that, and they didn't put like, oh well, you know, sharks are still no. They just ended the
They're
movie.
beautiful creatures.
Yeah, no,
and-
they ended the movie with just Jaws dying, you know. After that movie
What?
was released,
Spoilers. Hold on. What? No, Bruce.
Come on, man. After the movie was released, there was a high spike of shark deaths. People start hunting sharks for fun, you know?
Yeah.
And PETA got involved. It was like an entire mess, like all throughout the late 70s to like the early 80s.
Yeah, I would actually count that against the film in terms of like character growth, because it
Oh,
feels like
okay.
the guy
Against-
didn't learn. He didn't learn anything.
I mean,
His friend died.
sure, but it's like, what is there to
Jody.
learn out of that?
Like I do appreciate the message of like it's just a creature.
Yeah, it's just a creature. Even at the end with
they're
that
not
big
monsters,
spider, he's
yeah.
like, no, just let
Yeah,
it.
let me move it.
Yeah.
You know. But let's take a quick break and then we'll get into the downfall of Infested.
Yeah. All right.
All right, and we're back. And I would like to say, leading up until this last act, the movie was very good.
Yeah.
It
I
was.
enjoyed a lot of it.
It's great.
Characters,
build-up.
some of the characters were a little bit annoying. We can get into a little bit of the characters at the end, but let's get into the last act where I think the movie just
Died
went
down.
downhill.
Yeah.
So
Very quickly.
what part was it? Was the part when they get through the spider tunnel was
It's
considered last
just-
act, or
it's-
was it the part when he slams through the door and then the infestation just goes nuts? What
I
part are
would-
you talking from?
I
What
would
was the starting point?
say that part because it's like
I think the last good scene was the tunnel scene,
Yes.
and they try and get
Mm-hmm.
through the tunnel. It's completely filled with spiders. They're trying to find a way out of the building to let like the neighboring apartments know, like, hey, like there's a thing going on with spiders.
Yeah.
And then
They get to the end of the
they get to
tunnel.
the end of the tunnel, and the cops are there, and they're
Yes.
like, "Hey, we're working. You guys can't be in here. And they're like, you got to let us out.
Right.
Like, it's full of spiders. You know, we're going to die if we stay in here. And like,
Yeah.
no, we're working.
And
You
then
guys are fine.
And they
Go
pull the
home."
door harder.
Yeah, and then the cops, like, I don't know what they do. Like,
They
shoot
come
at
in.
'em or
Yeah, no.
whatever.
They come in and they start fighting with the cops.
No,
No, that's
this-
not
this
yet.
after.
Not
This
yet.
after?
It's-
Okay.
Yeah.
So they
try to
get
pull
through.
they try to pull the door back and
Uh-huh.
forth. They fire a shot. They're still pulling at the door, and then they spray like tear gas.
Yeah. They
And then this is where the movie completely lost me, because they make it down this terrifying tunnel in the dark, covered in tear gas.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's right.
I was like, what's happening? Because we just had this big suspenseful moment of them walking through this
Like,
tunnel,
The whole,
With
like,
no-
5-minute scene of them, like, oh, you got to be careful.
and it was terrifying. It was
Sneaking
great.
Through, we have to be
But
quiet. we
okay,
gotta make
here's
sure
the
not to touch
thing.
spiders.
Here's the thing why we didn't like it, and here's how I think it could have been improved. So like, that whole scene was just, it was just a bunch of gas. You couldn't even see the side of the walls, and it was all shaky cam for like what, like 2 minutes, and it was 2 minutes too long. I feel like it could have been better if you would have used like a face shot, kind of like like the 28 weeks later when they're running and you see like their face, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like the
Yes,
first.
but the whole reason why I didn't like the scene was because it completely undermined the suspense of the whole.
That's fine.
getting
Tunnel.
through the
Exactly, that's
tunnel.
fine. But then as they're doing all that, they're covering their mouths, and you see like they're just running into webs, and you see like a spider there and just killing them off. Like that would have been at least better than just kind of like shaky cam, gas here, gas there.
Well, the reason that ruins that even more is because, like they said, the opening scene, lethal venom, one bite dead, and now we're running through a wall, like a
Like
tunnel,
the perfume scene from SpongeBob. Like,
Pooh.
and then just nothing happens, and they
got
they
the
lose.
gas mask. The spider lifts it up.
They do lose one friend, Jody, the main the
Jordy?
Jody,
Yeah.
Jordy.
He like one of them. What's it, the best friend? I guess
Yeah.
is how you would
Sure,
describe
yeah.
him. And it's almost like it reminded me of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, where he's getting sucked into like the side of the maze. Is that just me? No, that's how, I know you haven't seen Harry Potter.
Yeah, I watched Harry
Fucking-
Potter.
But
What's
that's
his
how
name?
much
I
it
don't,
took me
I don't
out of
believe
it.
in that devil crap.
What's his name again?
I don't remember right now. It's the dude from
Twilight.
yeah.
Cedric?
Cedric.
My
boy.
Yeah. See,
I didn't even watch Harry Potter. I know that.
Oh fuck.
but no, yeah, that's like when you see him in the corner, I was like, oh damn, like that sucks. But also, he's the only one who died in this situation.
Right,
And
then-
he's covered in spider webs.
Yeah, he's instantly
Like,
covered.
he just fell in
Yeah,
like a nest
he
or something.
Fell, rolled against the wall. And
And
just
so
drowned.
it took me
Yeah.
out of it completely, and I was like, all right,
That, yeah,
fine.
there's me as well. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fine. And then the next scene is them hearing him scream to like being eaten alive or
Yeah.
Right,
something.
exactly.
It's brutal, and I'm like,
Which
okay,
is fine, I get it, but it just
yeah. We went from super suspenseful to
just-
ridiculousness
yeah.
to oh man, this is just sad.
to
and
just-
then
yeah.
and then we get to the next
because
portion.
his girlfriend, which her name was Leela,
Mm-hmm.
who was the main character's sister's friend.
Yeah.
They were dating, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, oh, let me go. Like, I need to save him. And they're like, no, like,
No, you crazy?
Like,
you
what-
can't,
yeah.
like, there's no way. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
you know?
like grab him. He's already been.
Yeah. And then his friend, how do you say that?
Let me see.
Matthias. second one.
Where is the second one? Jerome? Oh, Mathis. Oh,
Mathis.
yeah. It's like Mathis.
Yeah.
Like,
So Matt is like, he's like, look, you know what? Like, we have to do something. And the main guy, Caleb, was like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go to the roof.
yeah, exactly.
And the guy's like, yeah, that's exactly.
That's
what
a
we're
great
gonna do.
idea.
We're
Let's
gonna
go to the roof.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna shoot out these flares from like these fireworks that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna warn people. So they try and going up the stairs.
And as we get another cool scene, but it's
Was
like
it the firework? Or
this is the part with where they're
the
using
flare.
the flare to like stop them,
right?
and then they're like, oh, we found a Molotov.
Yeah.
And they're like, why? Like,
Hold
we're like,
on, but before that, it was like that firecracker scene where they throw a firecracker.
And it lights up the
It like
hallway. And you see all
for
the
a
spiders.
second, for a second, it lights up the hallway. You see like just like, like, oh, that one was
yeah,
cool. That one
all
was
those
cool.
moments all those moments are
Yeah.
solid, but it's like what they're doing doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So then they're running up the hallway, and
Shining a light.
and
shining a
earlier they
light.
were like, we're gonna go door to door. We gotta make sure everybody gets out of here,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
So they're
that's
running up the hallway, and then these people are like, "Oh, you gotta help us get out." They're like, "No, stay inside." And they close the door on them.
just
It's
like leaving them to die.
yeah. And then they get up to the hallway, and that was a pretty cool sequence where they're like using a light to stun them
Yeah.
while they're running up, and it's pretty suspenseful.
Because it's like the minute they shine the light, you see the spiders right there. Run up. They shine the light on them, and it seems like the spiders are even closer now.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
video
so-
games that do this. That's what it reminded me of.
like
But
the
then
mannequin video games.
They
you
get
know?
up to like I don't know, like the 7th floor, and they're supposed to be like
dude.
15.
They ran for a
15
while.
stories, and they stop, and for whatever reason, cops are on that floor.
Yeah.
And
I
they
was
go,
like,
hey, you got to get us out. And they go, oh, like, stay there. Like, we don't know if you guys have been bitten. Like, very, like,
It's like, no, you
very
you gotta
wreck
get
or
out.
quarantine.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, they're like,
They start
fight the
fighting.
cops.
Yeah.
So they
And I'm
start
like,
fighting the cops.
That's their only way out.
Yeah.
And they just start fighting them, and it's like, are you kidding me right now?
Like, just be like, no, we're not bitten, but there are a lot of people trapped inside.
Yeah.
Can you help us?
I get they would be mad from what just happened with the cops just before, but it's also like, this is a completely separate situation. I know you're kind of like in a state of panic, but again, like, why are you going to punch a cop? And
you have these things behind you, and now you want to fight the cops when you're trying to run away from these things.
They have guns, like, and they're like in full armor. And
yeah,
the situation escalates to the point where
one of the cops is choking his friend out.
No, yeah, his cop
literally
his friend,
like gonna murder
pepper
him.
sprays him and starts choking him out. So already he can't breathe. He's getting choked out. Caleb's like, what do I do?
I'm just gonna shoot the cop.
And he grabs the cop that he's fighting. He grabs his gun and he shoots the cop in the shoulder.
I get the
And it's like-
situation,
it's
but it's
like-
like, come on,
Yeah.
man.
I was like, at this point, there is no like, not escape, and no life for this guy after this. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. His life is ruined. Like, he's not. He
Yeah.
did something he can't go back from.
The cops aren't known for being chill about your situation.
Right.
So
Yeah. So
no
then,
matter what, at the end of the day, like, he shot a cop.
Aggravated murder.
That's why when I saw
Yeah.
that scene, I was like, that's it. Like, this movie's over. Like, I was like, he's dead.
I know.
So they all get knocked out, pepper sprayed, tear gas, or whatever.
And then are they in the
get-
basement? They're in
They're
the
in the
parking
garage.
So
So they
parking
went
garage.
from like all basically they started from like the 7th floor, you said, and then they get taken all the way back to the parking garage in the
Go
basement.
figure how they got through that hallway again.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then they just wake up
That's
and he's
why
all,
it happened off screen.
but he's hogtied. They're zip tied. They're
Yeah,
zip
and
tied down.
He's like, where are we? And they go, oh, we're in the parking garage. He's like, we were literally just here.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys wouldn't let us in.
And then we see like burnt spiders. They're all dead, like legs up and
I don't know
everything.
if they're burnt.
They look
or
burnt
if
to
they were
me.
like
No, they
frozen.
They
Like,
seem
But
like
like
they
what
were
they do?
dead.
Shoot them? Like,
maybe.
imagine shooting a spider, dude.
Okay,
know.
yeah, that's what leads into the next part. But
Y-
it makes sense to
yeah.
like if you got like
So
we,
again,
we have a
all
lot
of
of
it's just
complaints
kinda
here.
like-
We have a lot of complaints here because this is where it goes
what's that,
downhill.
like, what's that thing you put things in and they freeze instantly?
Liquid
Liquid
nitrogen.
nitrogen?
Yeah, like if they got like a liquid nitrogen thing and they spray the spiders, that makes sense.
I guess.
Yeah,
They
but
kill
then,
them.
but then
here's-
they weren't
here's the-
utilizing it in the,
Here's
with
the
an
thing,
upcoming
though.
scene.
Here's the thing. They knew about the spiders. They knew what what the police was fighting, and for somehow they still try to use guns on them. Like
Yeah,
there's
the-
spiders. You're
The
trying
other
to
thing
shoot
is
them with bullets.
The cop was like, "Look, like this is protocol. We had to do this." Blah,
But again,
blah, blah.
protocol.
I actually
protocol. They
didn't-
know
I actually
this.
like that portion.
No, that's what I like because that was like it makes sense.
Because like from
It's
the
like if
cost
they just-
perspective, we can't risk this getting out. We
Yeah.
can't. It's just getting
It-
worse.
okay, yeah, it makes sense, but at the same time, they knew about the spiders. They knew about the danger, but at the same time, they're like,
Their
let's just
handling
keep,
of it is
let's
awful.
keep shooting at them with bullets. You know, like the some spiders are the size of the bullets. Let's try to aim for them like
Yeah. But that's the
flamethrowers,
part
man.
that like really lost me is they're all tied up. His friend goes like, "All right, I'm already bitten. I'm already dying.
This
Yeah.
is
I'm
where
gonna
we had no
bust
idea
open
where.
the
Yeah,
door, and you guys can leave."
but let the spiders come in first.
Yeah, and it's like,
and
what?
then
Like,
yeah,
what
this
was
is
his
a
plan
death
there?
sentence.
I don't know what his plan was. Yeah, because he said it too. He's like, I'm gonna distract them. I'm gonna run towards the door, and all these spiders are gonna come in, and you guys are gonna be able to get out. And I was like, wait, hold on.
They're still
No.
they're
Zip tied.
Yeah, they're
No,
zip tied.
they're still handcuffed. Those spiders are gonna come in like that is no way out right there.
This is a terrible plan.
It's an awful plan. And
And he's
they're-
like, hey, but tell him I did something cool, and then he like runs for it. And it's like,
And again,
Why?
we get a cool shot, but at the expense of the movie's like logic.
yeah, and it's exactly what happens. Like he busts the door, spiders come in,
We're
cops
like,
started going crazy. They start shooting everywhere. So there's bullets flying all over the place. That's another thing that bothered me too, because then he grabs his friend. He's like, oh, we gotta hide behind this car. Oh, where's my sister? Where's Manon, right?
yeah,
Manon, yeah.
her name was Manon.
Yeah, he's like, where's Manon? Where's Manon? Oh, I gotta go get her. He's like,
So he's with his sister's friend,
Right, exactly.
Leela, and she's like, "Where's Manon?" He's like, "Don't worry, like I'll get her." So then he's like, "Just get out of here." So she leaves, and he goes to find her sister.
And
he
he just-
tells her to
and-
stay in the car.
And
I'm
as
like,
he runs, he like obviously runs through the middle of gunfire. I'm like, okay, yeah,
Spiders and gunfire.
obviously he's gonna get shot,
Yeah.
which he did. And I'm like, of course, like you ran through like a
a
barricade of bullets.
yeah, battle zone,
Yeah.
war zone.
He hasn't unlocked
Exactly.
Ultra Instinct yet, so he's
I
gonna
know,
get hit with
dude.
something.
Yeah, he gets hit in the knee or thigh, and then he gets to his sister. They have a moment to themselves, being like, "I'm sorry for being a dick. I'm sorry for being rude. Yada yada."
Cops
I mean,
are
I
still
did-
shooting. By the
I
way,
did like
cops
a
are still
little bit
shooting.
of the conversation, just in the sense that they were like, oh, like stop talking like we're gonna die. She's like, no, like I think about our mom too. He's like, no, I'm serious. Like stop saying that we're acting like we're gonna die. Like
And the spiders
you're not helping our situation.
kind of like roll in. It's
And
like
the spiders
actually,
start going in through the window, and then they get hit with a
Beam of
beam
light.
of light,
Mhm.
and they go, "It's
It's
our
like-
friend," and she's just flashing the light at them. They're like, let's get to
keep
the car.
in mind the cops are still shooting.
They're
How
still-
many
still
bullets are in these
fighting.
guns? You know,
Yeah.
like these
they're
are
holding the
pistols.
thin blue line.
They're
Like,
pistols. There's as of this point, like I think there's been like 5 minutes straight of just gunfire from like 20 different cops. How many bullets do these things have? You know what I mean? This is where it loses us.
Yeah,
Like, it
so
loses
that's,
the
again,
realism
and
a
if
little
like you said, the rest of the movie just kind of they get out. That's it.
they,
Like
they get in the car.
bit. Mhm.
They start driving. The lady hits everything on the way out, including a cop.
yeah.
She hits everything except spiders.
Yeah. and
Oh,
to make
literally,
sure,
yeah.
And to make sure she doesn't hit a spider,
Yeah.
they stop right at the.
The minute
garage
she's about to hit
door.
a spider, she stops.
Yeah,
And
and
it's a huge spider,
the biggest
almost
one.
the size
yeah.
of the car,
Our
and
hi-
it's just frozen in place from the
our
headlight.
two hypotheses is the reason she hit the spider was because one, it's so big it's gonna damage the car. Two, maybe there's baby spiders on it and
Yeah,
they hit
like,
it
if
and
they
it just
run
goes
over, and a bunch of baby spiders pop out of it,
Gonna cover the car.
and it covers the car and gets
Yeah.
in the vents or whatever.
because every spider they smashed basically did that.
Babies are it's like the worst nightmare when you kill a spider. You ever seen those videos where like they smash a spider?
I watch them every night before bed.
Oh Jesus! They smash the spider. They lift it up, and all these babies go
Yeah.
everywhere. That's what I like about this movie. Like every little ick that you have about a spider, they have it in this movie. Whether it be like the babies, the webs, the big ones, the small ones.
I would have liked the movie honestly more if it just ended right after they pepper sprayed them, and then they're just like, yeah, we did. You may not like the way we handled it, but
It's
we
like
did.
the mist ending though.
Yeah, it was like if they just ended it like them, he's literally goes to jail, and it could have been because a lot of it seemed like it was a kind of commentary on just like how police view the lower class in their situation.
Right.
So it
that's what I was
could
thinking
have
too.
ended with him literally going to jail
Yeah, I
for
guess.
and like after all
What if they like threw him in jail
for
or
shooting the
whatever,
cop? Yeah,
and he's like sitting in the jail, like not prison. Yeah, obviously they just throw him in the jail to contain him, and you see the spider crawl over his shoulder, and that's where the movie ends.
yeah, it would have been a little cheesy, but
Would have
like
been cheesy, but
I would have been fine with just him
I would
looking
say
at a spider in the room, and be like,
if they wanted to go a little bit
Yeah,
more
like on
extreme
the
with it,
on the wall right there, like that'd be like okay, cool. Like
because then the rest of it, yeah, we got that cool scene where they go through that door that he opened, but that's it. The rest of it just harmed the movie, in my opinion.
But if they want to be a little bit
Yeah,
more
I don't
extreme with
know.
it, there's a scene where they run into the family friend that he bought the earrings for, and they go inside her room to see if she's okay, so they can get her out of there. And she's completely dead, and she's filled with spiders,
right.
Oh, if you ended the movie with him in his jail cell, and he's just like,
like twitching the same way. Or
oh yeah, that's why I thought
But
that's
I
so
was
interesting.
thinking, I was like, they could have gone a little bit more extreme with it, and they're like, oh, like the spiders have to keep their host alive or whatever while they're like,
Inside
in
or
there.
something.
so she's like in agonizing pain.
That's kind of how it happened to the dog, unintentionally.
Yeah.
Also, spoilers, but there's a website called Does the Dog Die? Yeah, dog dies.
It dies.
Yeah,
Are you,
What do you think happened?
Wait, what?
I know you were on your phone a lot of times because you couldn't handle the spiders, but like,
Yeah, you literally see one like burst out of its stomach. Like,
oh,
that's what the
yeah.
blood was in the room.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
that
All
was
right.
strawberry
yeah.
grenadine.
grenadine.
Um,
Yeah, that's the whole movie. Hopefully, if you guys liked it, I mean, comment down below.
It's a decent watch, especially if you have a phobia with spiders. It's a fun.
It's a
Ugh.
solid 8 that slides down to a 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if it's a 7 for you, it slides down a whole letter grade. You know.
Yeah, after reviewing everything, do you guys want to change your ratings at all?
No,
I'll go to 7.5
that's my guy.
because I
What
was
did I
like,
say?
I was at
7.5?
an 8 originally because I was like, man, I was having so much fun with all the scares.
Yeah.
That's what I remembered. That's what I enjoyed about it.
Same with me.
But then like
yeah.
reflecting, I'm like, dang, that's kind of like, yeah, it does
It
hurt
just-
it so much.
And
It just
and-
falls off so hard.
And I hate spiders. You know, like that's one of my biggest phobias. So it's like,
That's why I chose it.
I know.
That's why I chose it.
But that's why I love arachnophobia so much because
And I made
throughout
sure
the
you
movie,
parked under a tree when you got here, and you're driving home alone.
All right, well, since we're about to wrap up, you guys want to talk about any memories you have of spiders?
no.
No.
I mean, I remember. I think the reason why I have arachnophobia is because I seen the movie Arachnophobia when I was a kid. Ironically enough,
Yeah, he's the film guy, right?
He just does stuff off movies.
I was a kid and I was like, "Oh, this is a cool movie." And I started watching. I was like, "Those are real spiders." I even thought the last spider, that's the one size of a plate, was real as well. I was like, "How can spiders get that big?"
They do.
Yeah, but
You ever see camel spider?
and I mean, I
I'll
think
get you
I've
one.
only
I'll get you one. I'll ship it to your house.
I've been bitten by a
In
spider
a
once
shoebox.
in my life.
I'm sure it's been more than that.
Probably,
no, you just gave me 2 memories of a spider. Do you have any before I tell mine?
Actually, I have a
No,
I have a
nothing.
good one.
I'll do one for one extra one for you.
Okay.
When I had my phase of trying to learn about spiders, so I stopped being scared. I caught a spider in the house, like one of the house spiders, and I was like, I put it in one of those little containers for insects, and it wasn't building the webs, which is the main reason I needed to catch it because I need to study the webs and how durable they were. And Mom was like, "Oh, just release it back into the corner, and it'll just make the web, and you could do your experiment from there." And I was like, "Okay." And I released
What could
it.
go wrong?
I released it, and it went straight to the vent.
Oh my!
And at
God.
the time, I had a bunk bed, and I was on top bunk, and I was right next to the vent. So I woke up that following day covered in bites from like about 15 to 17 bites all over my body. And I was like, yeah, maybe they do hold grudges. So that sucked. I think I was in 3rd grade when that happened. And then last memory would be, or fond memory, would be my mother's room actually had
Fond?
a fun, yeah, like a fun memory to think about now. My mother had an outbreak, like an infestation as well. And
you said
yeah,
the movie?
literally from the moment you walk into the room, her bathroom, it was wall to wall of spiders.
Oh,
Little tiny
my
ones,
God.
and they were little red spiders, like this big. And I'm talking like every surface. Like you walk in and you're like,
okay,
like you're just like
that's
I
it.
can hear Leo shriveling.
yeah. And I was
it.
like,
We're
I
ending it.
get a chills thinking about it too, but I love horror. So
Thank you guys for watching.
There is no scientific evidence that spiders seek revenge or hold grudges.
oh, that
But
one did.
That one
Probably
triggered.
because I looked at it for
I'm
so
getting
long.
Not all
sweaty
spiders.
and my legs itch right now.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
end it. Come
Yeah,
on.
no, I want to finish the story. So
Yeah,
then
Johnny
after that, we got an
discovered
exterminator. A lot less bugs
John
now.
Goodman.
I have no idea how it happened though. I just remember.
Pilgrim.
I remember being like all over the towels, all over the window sills, like everywhere. Like literally, yeah, that was described, except without the webs, more like a light web glazing over everything.
Oh.
Yeah, good stuff.
Real quick before we end it, did you guys have a favorite character for this movie?
I liked
Caleb. That's it.
Jake Caleb was whatever.
I mean, did you like any other better ones?
Yeah, I liked his friend,
The douchebag
the douchebag.
or the dumbass?
Which one's the douchebag or the dumbass?
The douchebag was like
The one who was like-
I guess the ex best friend,
Jordy?
Yeah,
Jordy,
I like Jordy.
and the douchebag was
Matthias?
Matthias.
I think he was all right. I mean, he kind of had a reason to be mad once you find out why he was mad.
I guess
It's like,
it's fine.
yeah, the iguana bit him,
You go on a bit of him, and,
and then he dropped him as a friend. He's like, I'm a shit friend.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I did kind of like Caleb, but I like that he was trying to be more responsible, as opposed to like, because I guess
towards the end, yeah, his role redemption.
the way they play it out is like he used to be like a hoodlum like those other kids who were there, which is why he got rounded up with those other kids when the
Oh, okay.
Zhao got like when they set off the fireworks. But he's like, oh, like you don't smoke in front of old people, like you don't do this, you don't do that, you know. And it was just,
It was like a mentor
it seemed
character.
kind of naggy, but it was like it came from a good place, and it's like, okay, I appreciate that in a character. Where it's not just so one noted that it's like annoying.
I changed my answer, Miss Chow.
Miss Chow.
Miss Chow.
Of course.
The exterminator.
That, yep. When she just
Yeah.
goes dual blue.
She went down
She's
fighting.
an unsung
Put her
hero in this
bandana on,
movie.
took out- the only thing she did is just like rotate the exterminator cans. Like,
Get all
And
cheesy
then
with it.
just drop him in slow motion,
Yeah.
just reload.
I know.
I was like, who does that? I was trying to think of a character that does that, but I think
Probably
so.
something from Resident Evil.
I think Street Fighter. When a main character does it, I'll bring it up at some point.
The spiders.
God damn it.
Stop.
But yeah, that was
that's
Infested.
It.
It
Yeah,
was,
hope you liked it.
It was
Itchy.
fine.
It was
Um,
cool.
Would you rewatch it? I probably would rewatch it.
I rewatch it for certain scenes that I might have missed out on because it's just kind of hard to keep track. of
I'd
everything.
probably rewatch it with someone who has
Yes,
no
that's-
idea about this movie.
Yeah, I would watch it with my wife or
so
watch it with
almost
some-
anyone.
Yeah, I
this movie is
guess.
kind of underground.
It's
for how
fine because
popular
it's
it
like,
is.
yeah, and it's like, it just be like, hey, you guys want to watch a horror movie? Just put it on and don't even tell them anything about it. Like,
Yeah.
I think that would be a cool, like, second watch. But
It's hard to just be like, oh, you guys want to watch a horror movie and then put on a foreign film. And immediately check out. You've checked out. You're
I
doing this
checked
for the
out.
podcast.
Well, I mean, I checked out. Come on, man. Like, there's scenes that I'm like, I can't even watch this right now.
All right, well, let's call it
My
there.
souls are itchy.
Your soul.
Your soul is itchy. And you're gonna stay itchy until our next episode, which is coming out. That is going to be.
Tremors.
All right, we'll do Tremors next.
Oh crap! Which one was it? Was it Tremors or was it the other one?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
We'll-
it could be either or. It could be
it's
Tremors
our
or it could be
podcast. We'll do it however we
Attack
want.
the Block.
Attack the Block.
I think Attack the Block will be a good one after this.
Could be Attack the Block.
You'll see why.
Another foreign movie. God damn it.
Yeah.
Foreign, but they speak English, right?
Yeah.
That's all I
Yeah.
ask.
GK.
I don't want to read again.
You know, it's that English.
We're
Hey, bruv.
American.
Hey, bruv.
Oh no.
Give me your shoes, mate.
What you
Yeah.
doing with bruv? You get my muffin, bruv?
So
That's racist.
yeah.
That's not.
Cancel. Hashtag 2024 cancel Leo. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.